if you had a leader at work who you did not respect and know is ineffective, and you've communicated that to him, yet when they see you, they try to shake your hand, how would you react? And how would you deny their handshake offering? Appreciate the feedback, sir.
So, okay, this is just off the mark here, right? I mean, I hope people realize that this is it's okay. I mean, I understand the reason I put this in there just because this is what we talked about earlier, where you think, man, I'm holding the line, and I'm holding the line, and this is my expectations of a leader, and you don't fit it. So number one, I'm gonna tell you. Number two, if you try and shake my hand, you're not getting it.
Right.
So that's what we call an adversarial relationship, and is not what we want. Let me ask you this: how is this going to help your cause to have an adversarial relationship with your boss? How does it help your cause? Is he going to listen to you more or less? Is he going to support you more or less? Will he give you what you want more or less? Which one? You won't shake his hand and you think he's going to support you in any way? No. And furthermore, if you have an adversarial relationship with your boss, is he more likely to promote you into a position where you can have more control over decisions for the team and for your own future? What do you think the answer to that is? Negative. All those answers are obvious. This whole concept is wrong. Our job is to build a relationship with our boss. And honestly, with everyone else, for that matter. That's what we're trying to do. Straight up disrespecting the boss, or, again, anyone, is not going to help our cause. It's going to hurt it. Now, this doesn't mean that we're kissing ass. This doesn't mean that we're folding. It doesn't mean that we're weak. This is the challenge for me to convince people that want to be strong leaders that this doesn't mean that you are weak. It actually takes more strength to control your emotions. It takes more strength to remain professional. It takes more strength to focus on the long-term win and not the short-term frustration. It takes more strength to keep your ego in check. And I would say that this whole question is is an indicator to me. I might need to check my own ego. Okay? Am I critical of my boss? Am I critical of my boss because I'm a little bit jealous? Is that possible? Am I critical of my boss because I think I deserve the job more than they do? Do I think that my boss got lucky, or he's a brown noser, or he's favored some way, that's why he got it, and I'm going to be bitter about it, and therefore I'm not going to respect him? All those right there, ego talking, right? Full on ego talking. So you got to put the ego in check. You got to support the boss, and you got to support the team. Then that's the best way to support the boss and support the team. And the obvious caveat to this is, if the boss is doing something that's illegal or immoral or unethical, then fine. Yeah, of course, absolutely. You can call him out. You can deny his handshake. You can report him up the chain of command or to the authorities. Because if you're part of what he's doing and you know it, then you're complicit in the activities. So you're at risk anyways. And it's the right thing to do. So obviously in those cases, yeah, you can hold your ground. But barring those extreme circumstances, what you want to do with your boss is build the relationship. And again, it's not just your boss. It's your peers. It's your chain of command up and down. You want to build those relationships instead of breaking them.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems, it's so fun, not funny. It's interesting how when you lay it out, and I'm sure a lot of, maybe even when he's listening to this, just hearing this question out loud, it seems obvious, Mm-hmm. But really you try to think about yourself in this situation.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, you don't like this guy, and maybe he said some stuff to offend you even, and you don't respect him, obviously. So yeah, like, you don't want to shake this guy's hand. Like, how you feel is a lot of times what dictates your behavior, towards people and just otherwise. So when you're in the situation, it's kind of like, it's so hard to be like, yeah, I don't respect his whole methods. I don't like any of this stuff. He's going to come shake my hand. It's so hard to be like, sure, and do what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It can be.
Put your ego in check. Put your emotions in check.
Yeah.
Put your attitude in check and just go, hey, boss, how's it going today?
Yep.
Everything's going good here.
Yeah. So
appreciate the support you've been giving us. There's one decision you made I was kind of wondering about. I'd love to pick your brain on at some point. Oh, really? Whereas if I just go, I don't want to shake your hand.
I hate you.
I basically disrespect you and I hate you.
Yeah.
And the decision you made over here was wrong. Is he going to listen to me? There's no chance.
I know.
There's no chance. You're going to wait. You're going to lose the argument.
Yeah.
Me, when I go in there and I say, hey, boss, how's it going? Yes. Yeah, no problem. Hey, I got one thing I wanted to pick your brain about, this decision you made over here. Is he going to listen to me? Got a better chance. Still might say no, but guess what? I'm fighting a long war. I'm going to outlast him. I'm going to outwork him. I'm going to outmaneuver him.
Yeah.
My boss is going to do what I want him to do.
I know, man. Yeah, you got to keep that in mind, man.
Yeah.
Because when you're in it, when you lose that little battle, because really that's what it is. When you're shaking your hand and you're like in your head, you're like, I hate you. I don't want to shake your hand. Freaking get your hand out of my face. Your whole existence of your hand in front of my face is an insult. That's what you're thinking. So if you shake it, you lost that battle. And that's bad right there. For you. It feels bad.
Really, it's very, very immature. Too.
It just feels right at the time.
Yeah,
but
if you let your emotions get all crazy,
I know, but
if you're not being strategic,
that's everything.
If you're not thinking about winning,
and by no means am I saying it's right.
Playing the game correctly,
I know but the point is,
I understand it feels good. Of course,
when you say it out loud, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so clear. Like,
you know what?
almost obvious.
You know what? You just indicated to me something very obvious. Is that over time? You know how over time you get to, you go for a hard workout and you look forward to the feeling afterwards of that. Yeah, I did this hard workout. There's endorphins or whatever. I'm going to tell you, at some point, I developed some sort of attitude where when I control myself and I make a good strategic move, it feels just as good. It feels way better than the short term. Oh man, I really told him. No, wrong answer. You lost. You won the battle, lost the war. Idiot. That's what I feel like if I make that mistake.
Right. That's absolutely correct. You conditioned yourself to the whole process, because you probably went through it a few times, tasted the fruits, of winning the law. But so it's just with experience. Exactly right. So, and there's ways you can kind of do that to yourself. Like I do, even if you haven't, ultimately when you boil kind of your whole way of thinking down, when you do have an ego that you think is like a functional ego, but use that ego to win the long war. So kind of like what I did with getting mad. It's like no one can no one's gonna tell me I have low self-esteem, because really, anger issues is usually because of low self-esteem. So in this case, you could be like, hey, if you ever facilitate that adversarial relationship where you don't shake his hand, or you're like, you want to, as he said, you've communicated that to him. You have a leader that you don't respect and is ineffective, and you told him. Okay, so keep that. When you say stuff like that, consider that as like your weakness. Yeah. Like just tell yourself that. Whether it is, or say that's your weakness for forgetting the long war.
And for showing your cards that much.
Showing your cards, yes.
Boss.
Yeah, just it's this little internal thing you tell yourself. And then just like how you were saying, where you feel dumb.
And if your ego can't handle all that, then I'll go back to my point that I said. This doesn't mean you're weak.
Right.
It means that you are winning.
Yeah, but flip it around as far as what you tell yourself. Like, it feels weak to lose a small battle. I understand. But flip it around and say,
what
hey.
I'm saying is,
If you win it at the expense of the long, that means you're weak. Say that to yourself. Yes. And it'll get easier. You'll condition yourself.
No, if you lose the long-term battle, you're even more weak.
Yes, that's the big weakness right there.
The big weakness.